In Section D, we continue looking at the substantive rights which are contained in the Convention on European Convention on Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms. We begin with Article 6, which examines the right to a fair trial. And just with the other articles that we have looked at, the court has dealt with Article 6, and probably Article 6 has been one of the ones that has been dealt with the most regularly by the European Court. In dealing with Article 6, it looks at the right to a fair hearing. What constitutes a fair hearing? It deals with the issue of legal representation, it deals with the right to be heard, and it deals with the presumption of innocence. It also looks at the minimum rights for those charged with a criminal offence, namely the right to be informed, the adequate time and facilities to be set aside for preparing the case, the right to defence, the right to call witnesses, and the right to an interpreter. And these rights are seen as being essential for a person who is being charged. And again, I emphasize it is a criminal offence, and its Article 6 applies to the criminal law. We then move to Article 8, which deals with the right of an individual to private and family life. And Article 8 has been one which has been dealt with considerably in the context of immigration law and in the case of individuals who have come before the courts and they have been threatened, or there is a prospect that they're going to be removed from the country in which they are currently living. To what extent does Article 8 safeguard the right of such individuals with respect to family life and the life of those with whom they have a relationship? Because Article 8 is not what we would call an absolute right. The Article 8 is one to which there can be constraints made in the interests of immigration policy, and the maintenance of immigration policy can justify and warrant what will be acknowledged as being an interference with the individual's family life. But that interference will be seen as being justified if it is, for example, proportionate to meeting the legitimate aim, which is and one legitimate aim is that which I've indicated, namely the maintenance of immigration policy. In Article 9, the freedom of religion and conscience, and it to some extent is closely related to Article 10, which deals with the freedom of expression, because it's about the individual's right to hold freedoms of conscience, freedom of religion. And recently the European Court has said, however, in such instances that has to be balanced, and it's getting the correct balance with the rights of others. So the freedom of religion is contained in Article 9. Article 10 deals with the freedom of expression, and Article 11, again a bit akin to Article 10, or they can be seen as together, namely the freedom of association and the peaceful assembly. Again, Articles 10 and 11 are qualified rights. They're rights which are not absolute, and although we enjoy the freedom of expression, although the freedom of assembly is safeguarded, it is a freedom which can be curtailed if it in any way impinges adversely upon the rights of the greater public. So in Section D, we are looking at rights which, as I say, are called qualified rights, with the exception of Article 6, which is sets down very firm criteria which have to be complied with respect to criminal offences and persons who've been charged with criminal offences, Article 8, 9, 10, 11 deal with rights which individuals enjoy, but which may be curtailed because of cognizance being given to the rights of others.